Greetings again from Labyrinth Guitars, and we are just going to do a little how-to demo of how to remove frets when you come in to do a refret. We have the 64 precision bass neck C-shape that we are removing the frets, and then we're going to re-sand the board and remove the lacquer that was put on, and then we're going to refret. But to go down all of the frets and remove very carefully, we have some ground flush end pullers here. You can buy fret pullers online somewhere. These are a really old, nice, sturdy set that I've had for years, although they could do with the surfaces regrinding because there's some bits that aren't marrying up, but they're getting the job done for now. And the handy tip to start when we go down the fret is to use a hot solder iron and just very gently, very carefully, be mindful of the board. We're all about being cautious here. We don't have to go completely like nanny state and protect everything in cotton wool. We just have to be aware and cautious of what we're doing and pay attention. So we heat the fret up. What this does is it lets heat transfer through the fret tang into the board, and it softens the wood a little to help prevent any chip out and let that fret just pop up a little easier. And when we go in, we're going to be grabbing under the fret like this, and then we're just going along and just rocking gently to pull that out. Being mindful again not to mark the board here. We're not driving pressure down, we're just gently letting the weight of the pliers or the grippers or whatever just gently rock. So we can feel, as I just did then, very warm, it's getting there. Sometimes you'll start to see where you're heating and you'll start to see the wood sort of sweat a little bit, let's say. We don't want to be burning anything. Again, can't stress the importance of being mindful and paying attention. And then we're just going to go along and grab under the fret. We can put that to the side actually now. That's well heated up. Grab under the fret and gently just rock, and we'll start to see it come up. And we're going to go all the way along, one side to the other, and that fret, once we get sort of right close to the back end pause, it'll just kind of want to pop out. And here we go, very gentle, and there we have a fret removed. And then I like to just use a nice soft bristle brush before I start touching anything and just brush away any excess dirt or anything that's kind of come out there. We can also, when it comes to refretting that process, go down the slot with a fine little razor thin pull saw, just clean that slot out. And I'm just doing this here just to get any gunk away that I can see. We can also use things like a little old toothbrush just to brush away there and see where we are. We'll see there'll be a little bit of a tiny sort of kick up of the wood there, because obviously when we've pulled the fret out it's pulling a little up. But when we've got them all out, we'll be just very lightly skimming. Well, this one we're going to go and remove some lacquer that's been sprayed on, so we will be doing some extra treatment there. But on a board that is raw and untreated as is, we'll just gently go over with some fine papers to level that out so there's no obstruction in that fret slot for when we place the new fret in. We will be doing some extra bit of clean out with saws and whatnot prior to placing new frets in. That's a different step, but for now we're just going one at a time, very gently, paying attention, and we get some heat under there, and we can grab the fret. It's got that one off the bat just nicely. Rocking gently backwards and forwards. We don't pull upwards, because that's just going to rip out the wood. Just a gentle rock backwards and forwards. You can see we've got a little bit of heat on the board there from this one, but again, this is getting a surface leveling of the actual fretboard before refretting. We can see bits of old gunk and dead skin coming out, and there's another one. Slow and steady wins the race, unless you're wanting to go for time and make the most of your job and make the most of your money on the job like I am.